And I'm calling on the Nigerian youth to stand up in all the university campuses to
You want to message here? What I go to say? What do you
think has happened to
it is because I don't know if professors that have studied to be a professor of political science cannot understand 1 + 1 equals to 2 and be calling 1 + 1 equals to 20. I think let's change the professors as our returning officer. Let's go back to the ancient day. Probably the pastors, the imam, or the Shango worshippers should be our returning officers because the professors have failed. The professors have been our
you will still have.
Then let me take you back to Abia State, where we have Professor Ote, what is the professor, the woman professor that declared Ote as the winner of Abia election. She stood her ground. She said no matter the prejudice. In fact, go back to the constitution, to INEC 2022 as amended. The power given to the returning officer in that state, at that moment, she or he becomes the INEC chairman of that state to declare the election. He is responsible to review, to edit, to declare, to stop, to go on, to go back. It is not the fault of Mahmoud at that point in that Lokoja yesterday. It is not Mahmoud that will jump into a plane or helicopter to say, hey boys, stop. It is the so-called professor sitting down that is calling 10 + 10, 100. That is our problem. Those are our problem. Those people must be held accountable. And I wonder what they are teaching our children in the university. And I'm calling on the Nigerian youth to stand up in all the university campuses to question your professors that are our returning officer. Have they lost their integrity?
Can